Welcome back to Starkiller Base. Today we have the top 4 match from our face-to-face game store championship. On the left we have Jon playing eMaz, and on the right we have Franco playing Palpatine. Looks like Jon brought Frozen Waste to the table, and Palpatine's got Oto Gunga. And Austin's here with us again. Yay! How you doing, Austin?
Hello. Oh, fantastic. Thanks for having me again. I am looking forward to commentating this match. It's a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, definitely. It's the counter. Like, eMaz came out, and then Palpatine was the counter because Palpatine had so many hit points that you couldn't just eMaz him to death and get his dice off the table. But then eMaz said, hey, what if I bring Frozen Wastes? Then Palpatine's got a problem. So Jon actually was dreading playing against Palpatine all day long, and he was so happy that he didn't have to face him until the last round of Swiss, and he actually played Franco, this guy right here, and lost. So now we're back in the top 4, and he's hoping to avoid a loss to him here.
No doubt. I bet he wants to get some revenge. And Force Illusions is so good here, too, because you throw a special, sure, it's 4 or 5 damage, just mill it.
Well, not to mention the 2 shields that he's already got on him, and the 2 shield die showing there. Because, I mean, eMaz shields are great. I actually know a local player that runs IQAs so that he can do unblockable damage just with Poe's special. Throw an IQA to do 2 unblockable and irk under those shields, which is kind of interesting. Man, Jon has a really good starting hand there. You got Maz's goggles, fast hands, and a hit and run. It's not rolling very hot, but...
Well, no, the focus, yeah, 3 focus sides, 2 dice. This is going to be interesting to see what he leaves on the table for possible control.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I guess if he had a control card left in his hand, he might have chosen to get rid of one of the Palpatine dice, like with a Loth Cat or something like that. But as soon as he rolls in Maz, he sort of locked that in.
Definitely. Well, I'm interested to see what he'll resolve, leave on the table, and potentially sacrifice to isolation or something like that.
Well, if you want to make sure you're getting it a special, and then double focus to 2 specials and then resolve 1. I mean, if you focus to a range side against Palpatine, you might get it deflected in your face. So.
Oh my goodness, that moment when a thermal detonator does 1 damage.
I was gonna say, take that thermal detonator. How does it feel to suck in a particular matchup? Because that was awful.
Yeah, really, especially then just more free. Oh gosh, I would not have.
Yeah, I'd definitely be keeping that one if I could, but.
Okay.
But he ate through Palpatine's shields finally. And the question is, does he want to claim, keep the battlefield, or does he want to get that 1 damage in? I think I'd probably claim, because if he draws into defensive position and dug in's next turn and doesn't have the battlefield, he's going to feel like an idiot. So, not to mention the fact that Palpatine might be running high ground.
That's true. I run high ground in my Palpatine deck. I like it a lot. It's really one of the only other blue control cards that are out there. But holy cow, this turn!
Look at these starting hands these guys had. That was nuts.
Oh my goodness.
I guess he didn't have a force ability, because otherwise he would have probably put at least one of the holocrons in first.
He's gonna now.
Yeah, probably.
That was good rejuvenate too. It just totally negated the thermal damage and anything Maz would have done. This is off to a really strong start for the Emperor deck.
Yeah, and he's got 4 resources, and he does run Rise Again. I can assure you. I had to play him in the Swiss as well. He was my only loss.
Ooh, that is a brutal roll.
Doesn't matter what you roll with Poe, don't you know?
I do,
It matters what you roll with Maz.
It's true.
I'm actually surprised Maz's goggles went down on Poe. I guess he was maybe worried that Maz was going to die early, because that was pretty close. That was almost a really bad turn.
It's true.
When you're not running Throne Room, you don't have the luxury of missing with Maz and actually being effective still.
Yeah, most certainly. Well, at least he got the special here, but on more.
Double thermal. How devastating! Oh wait, it's Palpatine.
And hey, he got a holocron special and 2 more shields.
I have some more shields.
Oh
buddy.
my goodness.
Yeah, that's working out. Yeah, Franco did a really good job with Palpatine in this tournament. I mean, you know, a lot of people with Palpatine, they'll just go, oh, that's not range damage. I'm going to discard a card and reroll these Palpatine dice and just wait until they get range damage. And that's not really the best way to do it because, I mean, it's like he's taken 2 shields, what, two times now? And I mean, look at Jon's characters. He's got 6 damage sitting on him already. He's just, it's a battle of attrition, and Palpatine's
Oh, most
right
definitely.
now.
I'm a big fan of in Emperor. You play what is out. You know, I mean, they gave the ability for that specific reason that you don't have other characters to help support you. In my opinion, you only, I use the operative word only, have 15 health. They're designed to be strong and be played quickly so they don't get controlled. I mean, that's you know, that's how it is. But ooh, push.
Push is interesting. In eMaz, it's not a very good card though. If you're looking for the damage or the discard side, sure. But that's special. It's like, okay, I blank your dice, and then Maz focuses them to what she was going to do anyway.
Yeah, I used to love Immobilize, and I was thinking, before we had seen the real heavy Spirit of the Rebellion meta come out, ooh, good field medic on Poe, before we had seen the meta really develop, I thought, man, Push is going to be amazing. This is going to be my favorite card. Immobilize is already good. How could this be bad? And just with the snap resolutions that are able to just left and right happen between fast hands, force speed, you need to remove dice, not just blank them. So unfortunately, force push is not as effective in the meta as I was hoping, but you know, that I think can be saved for throw, because it's very much like get rid of an important dice no matter the value. They can't resolve it, and you still do a little bit to them, even if it's something like a resource or a disrupt.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, when you're playing eMaz with the Frozen Waste, you just sort of roll in Poe, you roll in Maz, you resolve 1 if you can, you resolve 2 if you can, and then particularly against Palpatine, you just claim. Like, you know, Franco had a +1 resource on the Holocron, a blank Palpatine die, and a force push. Claim, get rid of the Palpatine die. Doesn't matter what he rerolls, he's going to hit you for 2, maybe. I suppose if he Holocrons a lightning in, that's another story, but there's 4 discards showing there.
Really
that's pretty
nice
good
to see. Oh, he accidentally rolled in the extra Holocron dice, looks like.
Yeah, always need to be careful with your own dice, and you should always watch your opponents too. That's one of the reasons why I actually put the dice back on the card they came from, as opposed to just piling them all on the character, because that way I know that if there's, you know, if I've got 2 on Palpatine and 1 on the other 3 upgrades, and I've got another die still, then it's like, okay, what's going on here?
Definitely, yeah, and that's the way that most tournaments have it, and it's not like, you know, we must have the tournaments be this way, but it's like, you know, it's good to keep a clean board state to tell your opponent, hey, this is what's going on, so that, you know, no mistakes are made.
Yep.
Ooh, that was...
So the DL44 there is pretty nice.
Definitely, he just got...
Again, interesting. That's, I guess it makes sense to all on Poe with the fast hands and whatnot. He wanted to get it down so he didn't get it all discarded.
You mean just like that?
Yeah, like that. Hyperspace jump. That's a spicy one. Yeah.
And in a surprise twist, we see Palpatine almost being fully resolved.
Yep, before Poe has even rolled in. Crazy.
Oh boy.
Wow, there's some Maz's goggles. I'd be resolving Maz's goggles as quickly as possible and look for that rise again, because this is about the prime time for it to happen, like action 1 next round. Oh, there they are.
Oh yeah.
Does he have it? No, he does not. Interesting. I don't. Yeah, I guess that's a better choice, because he can high ground it or deflect it. You high ground it, he takes 1 damage. You deflect it, he takes 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, you also save money. I know it sounds silly, but it's like, you know, Poe saves money too. You almost sometimes you want to make him pay for it, especially if you're holding rise again.
Sure.
Then you can just laugh at the value again.
Yep. Well, Jon definitely did want to see both of those in Franco's hand when he played the Maz.
There's that classic disappointing Maz roll.
That's okay. He's already got the special out.
But to be able to hit the...
But does he have... What does he have in his hand, though? He's got 1 card in his hand. It is a die card. It's cunning.
The irony.
I'll make you discard a card, sir. Wow.
Yeah, really.
Take that.
Well, he
almost want to just take the resource and the shield, claim, and get rid of the Palpatine die if he doesn't resolve it, and then, like, he's resolving the... Okay, that's not bad. He's resolving focus. He's going to set the DL44 to a 3, probably. It's not a character die, so Franco can't remove it with Frozen Wastes. So it's not a bad choice.
Definitely. Oh gosh, taking 1.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he resolved the Poe special to focus the deal 44, and then the second die he resolved was the deal 44. So he did action cheat all
with
that.
Maz rolling in cheese.
Yeah. Now the question is, do you want a resource and a shield, or do you want the battlefield? Probably the battlefield. I don't think we've seen any dug-ins or defensive positions from Jon yet. He did say that he was playing the deck really, like, he had very few die control cards in, which is why he was really not happy to see Palpatine. So I don't even know if he runs defensive position and dug-in, but good gracious, I mean, those are 2 pretty huge cards for a Pomaz deck, especially in the Palpatine matchup. The number of times where Palpatine rolls in and hits like a 2 discard and a 3 range damage, you just spend 1, get rid of both of his dice, and make him cry.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was at one point an opponent I was playing against, and he rolled in all guns, and it was just 1 resource. See you later. I mean, that's the nightmare.
Yeah.
To me, defensive position is one of the best, highest value, just best cards in the game.
Definitely. And hero only. Take that, naysayers.
Sad story. I think Hero's very strong, but that's again me against the meta, me against the mind probe.
Yeah. Let's see if Franco has Rise Again
Those
here.
are good fast hands.
Feel
Oh
your
my
anger.
goodness.
Okay.
And that's the correct choice, I believe.
Oh yeah, Magic Goggles can't even do damage.
I mean, you could throw them. You could throw. I mean, but that's just thematic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. At least shields are still relevant here.
Throw. So are you saying a Jedi should throw Maz's goggles at somebody? That would be really interesting to see in real life.
You know, they could. I don't know if they do a lot of damage. Oh, there it is. He's holding it. I just saw the Rise Again. Yep.
Is he?
Looks like he may wants to overwrite something.
Well, yeah, he has to. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's about 601.
So he has it in his hand there? Well, if I was Jon and I rolled in Maz and I hit a focus, I'd probably focus Maz's goggles to a special and resolve it just in case, because that's, like, that
There it
Rise Again
is.
is huge. Especially if he's got some decent in his discard pile. I know Franco is running Holdout Blasters in this deck. I don't think we've seen anything in his discard pile except for the Holocron there. The only upgrade he put out was Push, but frankly, I'll pay 5 for a 5 heal. I mean, it's not as efficient as like 2.5 field medics, but it'll do.
Or second chance, yeah. Unfortunately, I think most of the value comes from finding like lightning, throw, push, lure, some kind of, or even I've seen Vader decks use it on Kylo's lightsaber, because it doesn't say ability, it just says upgrade, which is,
There's a roll.
oh my goodness.
With force speed too. Oh, there it is.
Let's find, let's find the defensive position.
That's gotta hurt. And that's why you claim and leave the Maz die out.
Boy. Oh, gets rid of the planetary.
Oh, look at that. He got the Mazes.
My goodness.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I don't know. Without the action cheating available to cheat in Maz's Goggles special, I think I would have probably rolled in Palpatine first before playing Rise Again, discarded the Force Throw to re-roll if I needed to, and then played Rise Again to get the Force Throw in play. Although, Force Speed's not bad, and I guess you're not going to be throwing much from Pomaz, I guess, but it's a tough one.
Well, I'm honestly, that's my exact line of thought also, is I most certainly would have discarded throw, done the same thing, and try to get, reap a little bit more value off that, but, everyone's playing it differently. I'm sure he's got a good grasp on what he wants to do here.
For sure, yep. There's a big re-roll.
I can't believe he discarded hit and run for that.
Well, it's a good re-roll. Except I'm pretty sure Franco still has those deflects in his hand.
Not only that, he's got 4 speed, so I mean, there's plenty of options available to him. And it's times like this where I really would have loved to see the throw come out and just immediately rocket that Poe 2 back.
Yep. Oh, I guess that wasn't a re-roll; it was a roll-in the first place. I forgot. Jon.
Okay, he just didn't.
Jon has problems maintaining a proper board state. You see how Maz was already exhausted there, and then you roll anyway. We've had issues. I've had issues with him in the past where, like, 4-character deck, and he's just rolling dice, and the guys are still ready, or they're all exhausted from the last round. And I'm just like, okay, which one have you activated, man? Come on, give me a break.
You're right. Well, no doubt he's going to resolve a focus. That's
interesting. Wants to get rid of that deflect.
Okay.
Definitely.
Oh boy.
I mean, you could have just as easily resolved the 2 range damage and then not had to worry about it, but
I guess maybe he was worrying about some kind of speed operation.
Yeah, maybe. So Palpatine has done 8 damage in total now because he hasn't actually resolved any damage dice.
Well, hopefully that'll be different for him. I don't know. If it was me here, I'd probably take the resource. But
well, that's the thing with the battlefield the way that it is. You got to think that Jon's probably going to take another action or 2. So leaving that Palpatine die out there is probably okay for now. What I don't understand is why didn't Jon use the fast hands on Maz when he rolled in and then resolve that focus die, right? Could have focused the Poe die to a special. I think he forgot about it.
True, yeah, probably. I mean, with Maz and fast hands, the interaction is really specific too, because as soon as you roll her in, it's fast hands. Then after that, it's the Maz ability. So I mean, if you're just focused on, okay, I can just roll in Maz and do the ability, you're probably going to forget about fast hands. I mean, I know I've done that in the past just because I've had a strategy, and it's worked out, and fast hands has been supplementary, but if you have something in mind that you want to do, I can definitely see how it would be forgotten.
Well, I mean, they are both after abilities on the same triggering condition, so you can choose whichever order you want to do it in, but frankly, all it is you can resolve one of your Maz dice and then up to 2 other dice of your choice. So it's just sort of like a Uber Maz, I guess,
right,
for the low price of 0.
Yeah, and Palpatine effectively at 3 damage right now because of the next 2 shields. So I'm interested to see where he's going to put that next 2 damage. If that's me, I'm probably just going to throw that. Boy, I don't actually know. You may want to throw it into Poe or wait and try and bait out a bit more damage on Maz. That he might take 1 or 2 more from Emperor and then just try and finish it with push, but he's not in the position for that right now, of course.
Well, Maz is definitely not the threat here right now, especially with Poe with all the upgrades on him too. But Maz has got 1 hit point left now, so it's not a terrible choice. And now, of course, in splitting his damage to 2 different sides like this, Jon has made it so that he's got 2 actions, and Franco can get rid of the one he doesn't resolve. So if he had resolved the focus and set Poe's die to a 3 ranged or a 2 ranged, then Jon could just go bam, here's 5 or 4 damage right now, and then you can claim it doesn't matter. Whereas he just U-winged and did 3 damage. So I actually would have been tempted to U-wing and put 2 shields in each of my characters if I was Jon there, because that 3 is not doing that much. I mean, you got to chew through the shields eventually anyway, but
yeah, well, that was just basically like the thermal we saw earlier. I mean, with 2 shields, you just had boom instantly.
That was...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess he did have a doubt left. I remember him looking in his hand with Maz's goggles, and there wasn't really much of anything in there. Can he heal Maz up, probably?
Yeah, well, if nothing else, I mean, I can understand going for Maz first here. I remember we've discussed in the past that if there's no throne room, that sometimes it's good to go for her first. So, especially if you want to get all that action cheating out of the way, like, I can definitely see the appeal of finishing her off. Especially if he just rolls any ranged here, he could be just as good as that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that field medic on Maz is not that great because Palpatine has 3 damage side, a 3 damage side, but I don't know. And I just glimpsed a defensive position in Jon's hand, which is unfortunate.
Sad days.
Because he didn't control the battlefield.
Yeah, I really like forcing Palpatine to put 2 or 3 into a character that only has 1 health left, because they waste so much damage that way.
Well, the thing is, if he's right now, it's perfect because he's killing Maz exactly for 3, and then Poe has no choice but to take the 2 damage, and then 2 more from the shields. So
it's going to get a lot. It's going to get a lot rougher, a lot faster because of just assuming he rolls even shields, resources, discards, no damage. You're looking at 4. It's like 2 planetary uprisings.
Yep. Okay, yeah, there we go. I was gonna say Jon didn't have any die control available. Like, you know, he can't negotiate, he can't loft cat because he's got no dice in there. Doesn't have it in the battlefield. So the best he could have done is another field medic. So definitely that hyperspace jump was a good call, except for the fact that he hasn't paid for it yet.
Not only that, I mean, it's funny because it's like, oh, cool, he got rid of all that damage, and yeah, that's great and everything. But now he's looking at Palpatine with a huge amount of resources, 7 damage showing.
Wow, that is a lot of resources.
You know, and so like you kind of forget about that sometimes. That it's, you know, you're knocking on Rise Again #2 here.
No. Yeah, I think Jon has, you know, like when I played the ePoe, I should say, with the Frozen Wastes, is that you play it fast. So you know, you focus to like sides so that you can do, you know, you can do more in one action as opposed to taking 2 actions to do stuff. And if you put Poe's dice to 2 range damage each, then fine, do 4 to the guy, take away his die with Frozen Wastes, and then have the battlefield the next round.
Definitely. Oh boy, this is.
Oh, I completely forgot about that Force Illusion, but he got rid of the other Force Illusion with it, and Palpatine's only got maybe 3 cards left in his deck there, it looks like. It's looking a little low.
That's not bad. I'd rather mill a Force Illusions at this point because I don't want to lose more of the deck. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's like, and when you're potentially going to get milled out, and if you put Force Illusion down and you don't have enough cards to mill from another Falcon, you know, you're just looking at a dead upgrade that you just spent 1 on.
That's true. And actually, it looks like Jon doesn't have many cards left in his deck either. It looks like maybe 3 or 4 there. So Palpatine's taking some resources and forcing Jon to take 4 damage, so that's not too bad.
Goodness, that's so much money.
I'm tempted to say I would have probably blanked those range damage sides, but when Maz rolls in, he can just focus them. I don't know. I would have probably blanked it.
At least force the focus, I suppose, but
it's a tough call. I mean, Palpatine's got those 2 discard sides. There's a 2 discard side on the force push as well. Looking at my opponent running out of cards, it might not be a bad call. Like, he doesn't need the resources, but I guess it's fast. He can do 4 damage just by resolving them.
It's true.
But he could have re-rolled and gone for the discards. Maz's goggles special, interesting.
Well, he's trying to find that next Rise Again, I'm sure.
Yes, but now what has he done? He's left those 4 damage sides out there to get force push.
Boy, I hope.
But yeah, you're right. I guess that's a good point, because that means the Rise Again is in the 3 left as opposed to the 5 in his hand. So statistically, he was going to have Rise Again in his hand.
I think you get rid.
That No Mercy is pretty tough.
I was gonna say, I think you get rid of the No Mercy here, because I mean, if he finds 1 damage side, even on push, you're looking at a world of hurt on Poe, especially since every card in that deck is blue, unless he, without the exception of Holdout Blaster, if he's running that.
Yeah, this is definitely not what Jon wanted to see. I mean, overconfidence and either of those isolations will ruin his next action by getting rid of those, messing up those 4 range damage sides. But No Mercy is definitely a good call. This is actually a pretty, I want to say it's a pretty tight game. I think Jon's in a lot of trouble here. It looks like Franco claimed and got rid of the Poe die, so that's not bad.
It looked like he did isolation.
Oh, sorry, was it isolation? My bad. I must zone out for a second there.
Because I think if I was him, I'd be looking to take those shields, but
yeah, the problem is, do you really want to re-roll when you got like 4 cards left in your entire game?
No, but I think those.
Oh, there's some value there. Although Jon shouldn't have been able to play it because he didn't pay for his. I mean, he had 1 more resource than he should have, I think, because I don't remember seeing him pay for that hyperspace jump.
Agreed.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that force push die is still out there, because it's gonna make this. Ooh, that's actually a pretty good. It's gonna turn to. There's no blanks. It's gonna turn to 2 resources.
You probably go to 2 focus.
Really?
Well,
if you do that, then you're giving yourself. I don't know.
Well, he's got to blank the other dice, I guess.
Well, he doesn't have to, but he can. And the thing is, then you're letting Jon focus back to a 3 on the DL44.
No,
so
it's true. That's not very good.
Give him 2 resources and a blank. The guy's only got 5 cards left in the game. He's not going to be spending his money on too much.
Plus, you're showing 6 discard sides potentially.
Yeah. So he didn't. Interesting. He did not push the other die.
Wow.
Well, that looks like what it should have been.
This was a very interesting series of plays.
Jon's getting greedy here. Like, it's getting to be 3 or 4 cards left in your entire deck. You could have just focused the DL44 to a 3 and done the 3 anyway. Kept a card. I don't know.
Oh my goodness! Plus he's looking at a shield too.
Yep.
3 cards. Oh gosh, two discard sides, and that is a nightmare. He is actually debating about re-rolling. Look at him.
It's not worth it. He doesn't have the money. He's only got. There's only 1 live side on that die. 1 damage side on that die that he can pay for.
And he's trying to gamble towards it.
I don't think so. Jon is one of those guys. He'll sit there. He'll have a card in his hand and be like, I don't think I should be greedy. And he actually, a lot of the time, he'll have 2, 3 cards in his hand and he'll just leave a couple blanks out there and claim the battlefield because he doesn't want to discard particular cards. So I think he's pretty cautious about that sort of thing. But I mean, like if Palpatine had 12 damage, then maybe go for the 1 and 6. But I mean, like Poe's not dead next round. Maz has got 1 hit point left. Poe's got 5. So, you know, theoretically Palpatine could kill him, but and he's got no die control. But like, even if he hits a 3 here, okay, great, good job. You got me to 12 out of 15.
Yeah, and we're also looking at the second rise again in the next 3 cards. He's also got the throw that's down there, which it looks like he's saving the upgrade slot for.
And he's going first.
Yeah.
He's got his whole deck in his hand. Unless we missed it, there's the rise again in there. And he's got 10 resources.
Oh my.
That was an achievement in the league I was running.
Wow.
Getting 10 resources. So, hey, look at it.
There it is.
That's gonna be the nail in the coffin, I think.
Oh, please put out throw.
Lightning.
Or lightning, yeah, something.
Well, throw wouldn't have been a bad call either. But I think he's trying to be the aggressor here.
No, I think that was the correct play. Plus, he kept the battlefield from if he had dug. We haven't seen dug in yet. I don't know if he's running it, but
no, that's a pretty good roll.
Oh my goodness, that is exactly what you want to see.
With that double focus and a U-wing, like he's got 9 more damage sitting out there, which is lethal.
But this is 5.
But
ooh,
that's ugly. And this is where Jon says, boy, I hope I kept some die control. He's got an electroshock in his hand, a falcon, a rocket launcher, and a friends in low places. So he can shock the 2 on the force lightning, but that's like a focus and 2 Palpatine dice there, 1 already showing a 3 range. That's not good.
Not only that, but now the Pal player's got some control over what's going to happen next with the force push. So I mean, he can blank some sides if he really wants to, like blank the focus and blank the 2. That's really good.
Well, if Jon doesn't electroshock that 2 on the force lightning, it's game over next action because he can put 5 into Poe, which will kill him, and then the 2 residual from Palpatine will take out Maz.
Definitely. Looks like he's just counting it up. Maybe I'm going, hey, sizing up the situation of, well, if I remove this, what'll happen?
Yeah, I don't think there's any outs here based on what we see in Jon's hand here. You get rid of the 2 on the force lightning, and then Franco focuses the other Palpatine die to 3 range damage, and then you're done.
You're looking at 10 damage total from the 2 dice. So yeah, it's ooh.
2 actions.
I mean, like if Palpatine had 12 damage or 13 damage on him, then it's one thing, but I think that's it.
Yeah, and it's funny, he just said 2 actions, but I hope sincerely that he means dice resolution because
probably, yeah.
Boy, yeah, it's looking like this is the last nail in the coffin here.
Well, unless there's 2 diplomatic immunity dice out there that I don't see, I don't think it's happening.
It's funny if he sees it. No, I guess he's just gonna go for more offense.
I mean, he's got a rocket launcher and a falcon in his hand. He's basically 1 action away from winning.
It's true.
And Palpatine has 8 hit points left, and those 2 specials are 8 hit points.
He's only got 1
Just resolutions?
dice left.
Double focus. Oh, okay. So I have 1 more.
Yeah, this is actually pretty close. I mean, aside from the fact that both players are out of cards and almost dead, and the game's probably close to going to time as well. This is a pretty epic matchup.
Yeah,
actually.
definitely.
I'm impressed.
Also, just as a small side note, I was reading through the updated listings. Interesting that Crime Lord actually waits for the discard and draw condition. Oh, there it is.
No mercy.
Oh my.
I was gonna say that I think they would still been able to get him without it, but that is one way to make damn sure that you better count twice to make sure, because he just dumped his entire hand, which means at the end of the round, if they're not dead, then it's game over.
Yep, and he's indicating the 2 to Maz.
So there we go. That's the GG. What a great finish. That was awesome. Wow, what a good game. Whew.
Really, really good. I really appreciated the 10 resources from Palpatine, but that's the risk you run when you use hyperspace jump. I swear, is yeah, you can cancel that dice, but you've just given your opponents 2 resources and more time to figure out what they want to do with it.
That's very true. All right, so that's the end of our top 4 matchup. The finals are coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks again for coming out and commentating with me, Austin. I had a really good time.
Likewise, me too. That was a lot of fun. This is a really good match, and it just goes to show you that even with dice, anything can happen.
Definitely. Well, we'll see you next time on Starkiller Base.